Hey everybody, I'm here with Caleb, my son Caleb, and I wanted him to share his 2 rapture dreams that he had.
Like one was probably like a year off from the other one, but the first one was about 2 years ago and the second one was about a year ago.
Right. So the first one he had, he experienced what it was like to be left behind. And the second one, he experienced what it was like to be raptured, to go in the rapture. So I wanted him to share because I believe we're in the season. We're at this time, and I think it's time that he share both the dreams. So I'll let you start with the first one where you were left behind.
Okay.
I believe both of these dreams that you had were actually, you experienced it, right? Mm-hmm. Would you say that?
Oh yeah, they were very vivid. It's almost like I was there. And when I woke up, I definitely felt different than you would feel if you just had like a normal dream. Like I felt very convicted. I felt like like something had just happened. And when I woke up, like I almost didn't know where I was, because it was almost like I was transported to a place to experience the dream, rather than just sleeping in my bed. First one, the dream started off, I was in a downtown city, and I'm pretty sure it was San Antonio where I was living at the time, and I was at a rooftop bar. There was nobody in the dream that I knew. There's no friends, nothing. I was just at this rooftop bar with a bunch of people. There was live music up there. Everyone was drinking, having a good time, like just casual music. I mean, just having fun, I guess. But I was at this rooftop bar, and I'm pretty sure I had like a drink in my hand, and I was probably chatting to a couple people there, and like the music kind of like lowered, and like the audio in my dream got like real cloudy, and everyone just kind of like stopped and started looking around, like, well, why did the music, cut? Why did it go lower? And everyone's just kind of just like, not freaking out, but just curious as to what was going on. Well, like way off in the distance, and it's daytime, and daytime, but it's dusk, so the sun's going down. Way off in the distance, I guess like I had looked out, just like at where everybody else was looking, over the horizon of the city, and the power grid. You know how in like movies and cinematic experiences, like whenever a power grid goes down, it goes doo, 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 and then it gets closer to you, and then the lights cut out for you. Well, that's exactly what happened. The city line, as each block of the street just cut power and just kind of went boom, cut power, boom, cut power, and got closer to us. All the power went down, the music went down, and everyone's just like freaking out, like, oh, what just happened? Well, then, like just out of nowhere, dark, ginormous storm clouds poured over the sky, just rolled right in, like just rolling dark clouds over the sky, and everything is just like pitch black. Daytime turned to nighttime, and it looked like a scroll folded across the whole sky. Well, everyone's like, just is it aliens? Or what's about to happen? Because it wasn't normal. It wasn't normal. Like something like that wouldn't just happen immediately. Well, then right above us, right above the clouds, it folded back, just peeled across, folded back, and just like a beam of light came through the hole in the clouds. And when that happened, I mean, you couldn't even look towards the sky. It was so bright. Well, everyone closed their eyes and looked, trying to figure out what's happening. Well, when I opened my eyes, everyone was gone. It was myself and just, like maybe a small crowd of people, and everyone was just gone. People just disappeared. And I knew in my spirit in my dream that it was the rapture. Like I knew that I had just been left behind. Like I knew that. And I just kind of sat there in shock, just as to what was my next move. What am I supposed to do now? Like I knew that it was over for me. I felt trapped. I felt just,
wow.
I felt sad, you know. I felt more sad than anything because I knew that I wasn't going to heaven. And you know, it was, you feel stuck, you feel lost, you feel alone, hopeless, very, very hopeless. And I mean, it put things into perspective, like definitely when I woke up, you know, to get my life together and get my life right, get right with the Lord, and to not take things for granted, you know, because you never know when the day or the hour you could be doing exactly that, having a drink or something, and just next thing you know, you're with your family, and then I don't know, your mom, your brothers, your sisters, your dogs, your kids, and then here you are, sitting alone.
Well, I wanted to say a couple of scriptures for this that came to mind when I was listening. Actually, so the first one was Luke 21, and it says, Luke 21:34, but take heed to yourselves, lest your hearts be weighed down with carousing, drunkenness, and the cares of this life, and that day come upon you unexpectedly. What day? The day of the Lord. For it will come as a snare or a trap, which that's what you said, on all those who dwell on the face of the whole earth. Watch therefore and pray always that you may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that will come to pass and to stand before the Son of Man. So that stuck out because that's what you were doing in the dream. It represents like those in the world doing those things.
Yeah.
You know, and not paying attention to what is coming on earth. And the other thing is the darkness you said that rolled in, right? The storm clouds. This is in Amos chapter 5 verses 16. Therefore the Lord God of hosts, the Lord says this, there shall be wailing in all the streets, and they shall say in all the highways, alas, alas. They shall call the farmer to mourning, the skillful lamenters to wailing. In all the vineyards there shall be wailing, for I will pass through you, says the Lord. Woe to you who desire the day of the Lord, for what good is the day of the Lord to you? It will be darkness and not light. It will be as though a man fled from a lion and a bear met him, or as though he went into a house, leaned his hand on a wall, and a serpent bit him. This is like describing the day of the Lord, what it felt like. So that's what really made me think of that. It is not the day of the Lord darkness and not light. Is it not very dark with no brightness in it? So you said there was like the clouds rolled back like a scroll.
Yeah.
Right? So, man, Revelation 6, the sixth seal actually describes this. It says, I looked when he opened the sixth seal, and behold, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair. The moon became like blood, and the stars of heaven fell to the earth, as a fig tree drops its late figs when it is shaken by a mighty wind. Then the sky receded as a scroll when it is rolled up, and every mountain and island was moved out of its place. And the kings of the earth, great men, rich men, and commanders and the mighty men, every slave and every free man, hid themselves in the caves, in the rocks of the mountains, and said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us and hide us from the face of him who sits on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb. For the great day of his wrath has come, and who is able to stand? So this is the wrath, right? And we know we're not appointed to wrath. That's in Thessalonians. Also in Thessalonians, it talks about the day of darkness, the day of the Lord. It comes like a trap who are on the earth. Those are some scriptures that really stood out about your dream, the first dream, and just the despair and hopelessness of being left behind. It's darkness. It's the grid goes down, and I think that was kind of representation of the darkness that was coming. I literally think you saw the sixth seal. I don't know. That's just what it seems like. And in Matthew 24:31, it also says this, and it matches the sixth seal. Verse 30. Then the sign of the Son of Man will appear in heaven, and all the tribes of the earth will mourn, and they will see the Son of Man coming on the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. And he will send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they will gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. So that is talking about, oh, and it says in verse 29, right before that, immediately after the tribulation of those days, the sun will be darkened and the moon will not give its light, and the stars will fall from heaven and the powers of heavens will be shaken. So literally, it just goes along with everything, right? So this is what I believe is coming very soon upon the earth. We're seeing all the signs and we're supposed to watch for them. So with that, let's go into your next dream that was excellent. It was my favorite dream. I love hearing this every single time. I wanted to make 2 different videos, but I really wanted to show the parallels of what would happen being left behind and what you get to look forward to if you go. So go ahead. I love
this next dream was like way more like vivid. Like it felt like it was actually happening, and actually when I woke up from this dream, I wanted to go back to sleep because I was like, oh, it wasn't real. But it was like a hope, because I knew that it was from the Lord. I knew that I was given that dream. I knew exactly what it was when I woke up. And
like you were surprised when you woke up.
I was surprised. I was shocked when I woke up because I was like, that felt like it was happening. Just to give like a quick backstory, I had just gotten off like a 16-hour shift at work in the heat of the summer in Texas, and it was like 105. This was last summer, and I was just beat. I was exhausted, and it was about probably 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning when I got off of work, and I slept for like 12 hours. I don't even know how long I slept, but I slept a long time. Well, in my sleep, in this dream, it started off, I was driving on the road. I was in my truck and I was on the way to my sister's house. And my sister's house is about like a 25-ish, 30-ish minute drive from where I was living at the time. And you know how sometimes dreams, they like fast forward, sometimes they skip to a part. Well, so I knew I was going to my sister's house. So in my dream, I was driving and then I ended up at my sister's house. Well, we always go over there on Sundays or on family days to have get-togethers, to have dinner, to fellowship and have time with family, moms and uncles and brothers and sisters and kids. I mean, grandbabies. I mean, we just hang out and we have a good time and we make good food. Well, we were outside and it was, I guess, same like time frame of the day where it was kind of getting darker outside, but it was still like dusk. And we decided that we wanted to make a fire, just like we always do down by the fire pit. An awesome fire pit. So we make a fire, and like across from me, we're all standing like in a circle, just all the family. We were sitting and we made this fire. It was an awesome fire, and I don't remember exactly what started first, but like things just started to happen. I think the very first thing that started to happen was the feeling of just, and I don't really know how to describe this in a humanly way because, like I said before, there's not a way to comprehend this as a human being because it is outside of our comprehension. I was taken out of my human way of feeling and thinking and put into a spiritual way. So the best way, I'll do my best to explain it the way that I can so we can understand it. But imagine every single negative thing in your life. Imagine anger, sadness, stress, anxiety, every negative thing, pain, physical pain. Like my knees hurt this morning, my back hurts this morning. Anything that you can think of that causes you to feel a negative way, an enemy trying to attack you, a spiritual attack, things that are going on in your life that are causing you stress, things that are causing you daily pain, mental, whether it's depression, anything, any negative was completely, and I mean completely gone. There was no way to comprehend that feeling because of the way that you are right now. Because as human beings, we all make mistakes, we all have sin, we literally can't be perfect. It's impossible, you can't. But this feeling of just complete complete peace and joy. And you could not help but have a smile on your face because of just what your spirit was filled with. And it was just pure love. Pure love. And there wasn't any sort of envy, pride, sloth, gluttony, no sin. You were made perfect. And we were standing across each other in this fire, like in front of the fire pit. And we were looking at each other in the eyes, and we were all just smiling. The biggest smiles. Everyone was it was the most genuine smile that you can think of, and we were all just feeling it at the exact same time. But words could not come out of your mouth because you simply couldn't communicate, because you knew what the other person was feeling, and you knew what the other person was thinking without words having to come out of their mouth. It showed in their eyes, it showed in their facial expression, it showed in their spirit. And that was the feeling that I had standing across that fire. And then the next thing that happened was the fire that was in the pit turned pure white, and it flustered and it furied, and it was just pure white. It was a white fire, and it just like engulfed, and it was just so high, and it was so just pure of like you looked in that fire and you just saw like it was fierce, like God had just taken the day, like he had just captured that moment, captured that day, captured the time, and everything was just about to turn around. And it was just, there's no way to understand this feeling. But I've never felt, like I said, I wanted to go back when I woke up from this dream. But next thing that happened, as the fire is going, we're feeling all of these feelings. Everything around you, the environment, the trees, the house in the background, everything turned like a rainbow. Just, I don't know if you know what neochrome is, but it's like it's like a reflective silver that is a rainbow. You ever see like a drip pan of oil that reflects like a rainbow in it? Or in the street when you look at it and you're like, oh, there's a rainbow. The reflection of the light, that was all around, and it was like a twister. It was tornado. It was just flourishing all around you. And, there was no atmosphere. There was no mountains in the background. There was no desert in the background. It was just all these colors, and they're just flustering everywhere. And you're looking around. You're like, what's happening? What's going on? This is amazing. This feeling is amazing. It's perfect. I know it's exactly what's happening. I know it's exactly what's happening because you're looking at the other person. And you're like, this is it. We're leaving this place. We're leaving this earth that's full of sorrow and hatred and evil, and we're going to somewhere that's perfect and pure. And all of us were just communicating telepathically, and we know what each other's thinking, and we're all feeling the same way. We're like, oh my gosh, we're leaving. And that's all we wanted, because this earth is just, it's hard. It's tough. It's a tough place to be. It's a hard place to be, but we have to endure. But this dream is definitely something that I like look back to and refer to, and it's like a hope.
The blessed hope.
As all this happening, all the colors are flourishing, this rainbow, the purples, the golds, the whites, just awesome colors. And one of the things that I can't really stress enough is that these colors that I saw, some of them I've never even seen before. When I say rainbow, you think red, yellow, pink, green, whatever, orange, purple, orange, blue. These colors were colors that I don't even have names for, that I don't know the names for because I've never seen them. And that's the easiest way to describe that, because in neochrome, if you Google it, it's like a reflective silver rainbow. That's the only thing that humanly I can compare it to. But yeah, as all of this is flourishing, the fire's going, and we're looking at each other, and we're just full of love and peace and joy and happiness, and no negative thought, no negative feeling, no pain, no suffering. We knew that it was all over. I was looking at like my sister and my mom across from me, and we're over this fire, and You know, we're looking at like our hands and our feet, and I'm looking back at, you know, them across from me, and we start to like lift up off the ground, slowly, but lift up off the ground, and your clothes and your garments, like just, they disappeared and turned white. And we just slowly started to lift up off the ground, and we're looking at our hands and we're looking at our bodies, and like looking across from me, I can see that like my mom and my sister, they're starting to disappear, like their human figure is starting to disappear and just kind of like fade, and just kind of disappearing out of like a human form. But I did not get to see the full transformation. I woke up. It was, we started to lift up off the ground, started to disappear. All the colors are going. The fire is pure white, pure love and happiness. You could see what everyone was thinking, and we just started to slowly disappear and rise up off the ground. We got about like 3-4 feet off the ground, and I knew, and we all knew where each other was going. We all knew where we were going, off of this rock that's floating in space.
And brought from the sun.
And as we started to disappear, you know, it was just the feeling, I can't describe it. It was just...
So that's what we get to look forward to as believers, as overcomers. And in Revelation 21, it talks about in verse 4, and God will wipe away every tear from their eyes. There will be no more death, nor sorrow, nor crying. There will be no more pain, for the former things have passed away. Then he who sat on the throne said, behold, I make all things new. And he said to me, write, for these words are true and faithful. And I believe he just confirmed this to you, because you said when you were telling me about it that you literally forgot everything that was going on earth. Like in that moment, it was like that none of it mattered. Nothing. Bills, you know, living situations. Your
house payment, your car payment, your insurance, going to work the next day, going to school,
striving.
Whatever you're currently going through in your life, like it literally did not matter.
That's why it's called the blessed hope, right? We have this blessed hope. It is Jesus. Jesus is our blessed hope. It's him in all things. He is all things. He's coming. He's coming. He's coming so soon. There's been so many signs. I want to share more stuff.
Yeah, if you're watching this video, anything that you're currently going through, whether it's a pain, a loss of a loved one, a struggle, physical pain, whatever that you think that is such a big deal that's impacting your day, I'm telling you right now that the joy that's coming, the pain, the sorrow, the suffering, like the joy that's coming, you can't even mentally comprehend what's going to happen, because it is just so beautiful. It'll just be wiped. It'll be wiped, and you won't even think about it. You won't even know that it actually ever once existed, that it was once a thing, because it won't matter, because your spirit self won't care, and it won't even know about it.
The former things have passed away. It's what the word says. Behold, these words are faithful and true. And God allowed you through this to experience that, to tell others of this hope that is coming, to look for it. And it says, blessed is he who watches, right?
God allowed me to see both sides of getting left behind and going. And I'll tell you what, you definitely don't want to be here.
Yeah.
You definitely don't want to be here on this earth.
No.
This place sucks.
You don't want to be a tribulation saint.
This place is not where you want to be.
Thank you for sharing. I'm glad that we finally got to sit down and do this. I've been wanting to do this for a while, and we've just not had time. Things have been busy, but I think now is the time. God always provides that. So we hope this blesses you and helps you in your endurance, running the race of faith. Keep running, people. Keep running, because the prize, the reward is worth it. God bless you all.